Kia ora te whānau, Joe Royal coming from Orake, a beautiful city. Come with me today, we're going to go do some car on the fly deliveries for our kaumatua, so come check out what we're up to. Alright whānau, I'm at the Whaimai offices. I've picked up my list. Alright whānau, we're off to our first drop-off, our first delivery. We're going to see what are the deliveries for the whānau look like. That's us. Alright whānau, here we go. Alright, on to my last drop off. This is to Nanny Margaret. So just gonna grab her kai. Here we go. And another happy customer. So the response has been pretty awesome. Kind of real appreciative of the kai on the fly, our kaumatua. And yeah, it's pretty special that we get to do this for our iwi and whānau. Right, kia ora whānau, that's us done for Kai on the Fly for Friday. Stay safe, enjoy the weekend, and ka kite.
Kia ora whānau. I hope you're all well, and look, thank you to the wonderful food that was delivered today, and all those cooks that got behind it and made it. It was delicious, and well, I think mine's going to last all week. As long as I keep my young fellas away from it, it should last me all week. But look, I hope you are all well and happy. And be nice to one another. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Uncle. And o te rā, tēnā koutou te whānau e whakarongo mai ana I tēnei pō. Sarangi Māori Hunia here, having a chat about the week that's just gone by. And Uncle Danny is leading us today. Uncle Danny is going to be leading the charge in this little update here. And beside Uncle, we have Dane Tumahai. So you've just seen a little bit of an update around straight off the that happened today actually. So Joe went out on today with a group of 8 drivers on Kai on the Fly, and Dane's been coordinating that effort with the marae, with Willis, with Joe Mahi and the others. So keen to get an update, Dane. How'd you go today?
Kia ora koutou te whānau. Yeah, no, another awesome day. Week 2 of doing kai to our kaumatua, Kai on the Fly to our 65 plus and over. But firstly, yeah, I do want to just acknowledge the leadership that's come across from our whānau, particularly Whaimaya, Whairawa, the Matua board, for their support and enabling us to do that. I know we talk about being a team of 5 million as in Aotearoa, but I'm really especially proud of our team of 140 employees or kaimahi or whaimaya that right across the toys that we have are all redeploying themselves or, going the extra mile, to respond to our whānau. As you said, Rangi Māori, I've got the privilege of coordinating the deliveries of the Kai on the Fly with our team of drivers you've mentioned there. who have come forward unselfishly to give back. So I want to acknowledge them. I want to acknowledge our coordinators, in particular Harriet, who's on the front line up at Whare Ora, helping when we bring the kai in, and Atakura and Shade, who are helping make sure that our list is right and that we're going to the right addresses. That I also want to acknowledge, as you said, Joe Mahi and the team of ladies there that are doing an awesome job around ensuring that we've got some really nutritious meals. Sorry, Dad, yeah, I might have to tie high one or two of yours. And then, of course, there's some other shout-outs that are giving unselfishly as well. Rick at our Punareo, Matua Rick, is able to access some ika, which has already been distributed to Kaumatua. And a shout-out to my cook, who's also been out. He's a hunter-gatherer, of course, and he's been foraging for puha and watercress. And so, that's been added to some of the meals that have been going. Lastly, I just also want to acknowledge we've got the privilege of mixing with some of the other Māori providers. So in particular, we've been out to Murma, where we're getting pellets of kai, bringing them back. And as I say, what's really rewarding is that when we're getting this kai back, and this is what I love about this Māori response team or the Māori network is that by Māori for Māori, that as soon as we get that kai, we're unpacking it and we're getting ready to deliver to our whānau. So in real quick, smart time. So that's really rewarding. As I said, delivered 200 meals last week, another 200 today. And you've seen some of the photos. Our kaumātua is so resilient and so grateful that, it's just so rewarding to see their expression on their faces. It looks like we could be in this for another week or two. So, we're relishing the opportunity to be able to give back. So, kia ora tātou.
Dane, you might want to also talk, so just for the whānau that are out there, what does it take to deliver these meals to our kaumātua? And I'm particularly thinking about the marae. The marae goes in on a Tuesday. They're cooking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, prepping Friday to get things out there. So an amazing team there in service to the kaupapa of our people. So I just want to acknowledge them there. Dane, you also look after the whenua, and so you've got a team that are working on the whenua. So you want to give us an update around what's happening there?
Yeah. Yes, and so, as an essential service, I think we're fortunate enough that we can still run a skeleton crew to ensure, with the large investment that's gone into Pourio in particular with the nursery and the mara, that we can continue to sustain the whenua, I guess, in the sense that we can put veggie starts in the ground and continue to do that mahi. But a beautiful whakaaro from Kingi, in fact, in our toi taiao space, said, well, whānau, what more can toi taiao provide for our whānau along with the other toys? And so it's his whakaaro around, let's get some seeds and some veggie starts out to our whānau. And so what's worked really well is, and hopefully you've seen or coming out soon, there'll be some videos from our kaimahi just to show you how to prep your garden, put them in and watch them grow. And so that'll be coming out as well. So we've been running that over the last couple of days alongside Harriet and her team doing hygiene packs as well. So whānau, if you want to get your ringa in the papa, we'll certainly be communicating that out to you to come and grab some veggie starts and get planting with your mokos, get out in the taiao and really make the most of this time.
Thinking about mara, Uncle Danny, I remember my nan talking to me about when they were young, when they just moved up to Kite Moana, so it would have been back in the 50s and 60s. And she used to talk to me about the garden competitions that you used to have up there. Apparently my grandfather, Uncle Noki, Uncle Digger, they used to be furiously competitive. Do you remember those days?
Yes, I do, Rangi, and I do remember the competition was really on. I I remember during that time, because I was whāngai by Auntie Hopi at that time, and I was staying there with them, and a lot of the gardens that were around, I used to go with her. She used to be one of the judges that used to go and judge all these gardens, and she used to tell me, to you taste some of that carrots or taste that lettuce in the garden, and you tell me how much you like it. And so I was the taster, following around with Auntie Hopi, as she was one of the official people that judged the gardens. Yeah, I remember the times. It was lovely.
Uncle, you can tell us now, who was the winner? Who was the best?
I'll tell you this. I don't know how many are tuned in tonight, but even those who aren't tuned in, those of you, I grew up with your parents, and I knew a lot of your grandparents. And I'm going to tell you all right now, you're not as good looking as what they were. So you guys won't win any beauty contests. I'll tell you that.
Well, thanks for that, Uncle. After I've just talked to him about, just declared to my uncle, my grey hairs are getting greyer. And that's now, hello, he's validated that. Uncle, we're going to turn it over to you now. For the whānau that are listening, we had our Whai Maya staff come together 3 days a week, and on Wednesday morning we had the privilege and the honour of having our uncle there. I don't know if Dane just was on the couch and Uncle happened to be there, and we grabbed him, so we nabbed him. And we thought it would be a great opportunity to bring Uncle in, and really keen just to see, Uncle, how you are. And
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.
So we'll start there. How are you going, Uncle?
Oh, look, I'm fine. I'm good. Really am fine. And I like to go back a bit when we were living down the pa, because our gardens were where the playing fields are, where the football fields are now. That's where our gardens were. Our playing field for playing football was right in front of Te Puru o Tāmaki, between Te Puru Tāmaki and the Urupa. That we had one set of goalposts at one end. We never had any goalposts at the other end, because that was by Karati's place, and she didn't want the ball going anywhere near her place. So we only had one set of goalposts. That was by the waterfront. But that was where the goalposts, and that's where we played. We were coached by Uncle Digger and Uncle Biggin. I remember Uncle Biggin, he was a very, very good football player, and he taught us a lot about football. But Uncle Digger, and they helped coach us. And look, I want to tell you, we were brought up by lovely people. Your parents and your grandparents were lovely people, but we were young fellas, and we get up to mischief. And a little bit about Pourewa, because we're attached to Pourewa today. There used to be a big bush there, big bush, and it was very thick, that bush. It was very hard to go through, but we made our way through the bush. We wanted to go to the Pourewa railway station. So we took off. We got through the bush. We got to the creek, got across the creek, got to the Pourewa railway station, and it was really derelict. It was ruined. It was it was a mess. There was not many windows that weren't broken, and it was real. The building was tumbling down, but there were a couple of windows that weren't broken. So the head of our little group was my brother Charlie Tumahai, not the Charlie that played. His dad, my oldest brother. He was the head of the group. And anyway, at this railway station, we picked up a couple of rocks and made a big hole in the window, and then wrote our names underneath with our addresses attached to it. I never had a post op. I think we had post boxes, but I don't remember what our numbers were down the pa. But we put our names and put our addresses there. You know, when we reached home, the police were waiting at my house. They were waiting there, and yeah, hello, yeah, you the guys that just come? Yeah, we're the guys. You broke the windows. Yeah, we broke. Well, how dumb can you be? You know, we're just idiots. Another thing we used to do is every time there's races at Ellerslie Racecourse, we all pull our money together and we dress ourselves up nicely, go to town, get the tram. The tram used to go to right to by the Ellerslie Racecourse, catch your tram and go to the races. At the end of the day, and it happened, look, not every meeting we went to, at the end of the day, we knew Remuera well because we walked home. We were that broke, lost all our money and walk home. And oh, man. So, you know, we weren't all, although our parents were wonderful parents, we were like any other kid that got into trouble. I used to do a herald run in the mornings, very early too. About 5 o'clock in the morning, I used to go and get up, and then I used to go and pick up my heralds to do the run on my push bike. You know, if you rode or even drove around the road around the Pa, there were potholes that finished up in China. And you have to know exactly how to miss those potholes. Well, I used to deliver herald, pick up my herald and ride, and it's been raining. I can't see the potholes, but it's raining, but I never, ever went into one of those potholes. I knew I was an expert. I was very good. I could ride my bike and never hit a pothole right through there. So, you know, that was me. I was a pretty clever guy in those days. But, you know, I was very, very lucky to know your parents, and very lucky to know a lot of your grandparents, and so I've had a real great life. I've had the opportunity to travel. I was married to a wonderful, beautiful Josephine Angel was her name. She was an angel too. We were married, and I had some lovely children and grandchildren. So that's a little bit about my life. But there was a group of us. It was my brother Charlie, as I told you. There was George, my other brother, myself. Bing was a bit young, and I had a younger brother than Bing. It was Tamaki. He wasn't with us. We had Robin Wata, we had Wiki, we had Bishop Downs, Timmy Downs, I told you about Robin Wata, Tana. Look, and they're all, I missed them. They're all gone. They're all gone now. But I'm still here, whānau. I'm still here. So if you want to know anything, if you need some help, ring Rangi Madia.
Uncle, that wasn't on our script, remember? No.
Sorry. That's it for me, one.
Well, whānau, look, you know, part of tonight is not just about giving an update of the things that we've been up to. If I think about what Te Kura shared during the karakia, this is also about being together through the ups and downs, and it's also about sharing the aroha. And I just couldn't think of anybody more appropriate than our uncle to be able to join us here tonight. The stories Uncle's talking to you about are 90 years old, our uncle? Uncle's 90 years young, and so I suppose the last 92. Question for you, Uncle, 92. 92. There's our uncle. Uncle, it's Father's Day on Sunday. So what's your son and your brothers doing for your Father's Day?
A hamburger.
Hamburger.
And a flat white.
I know. Any of you know how to make a flat white? Please deliver it to Kitimoana Street to our uncle. We love you, our uncle.
Kia ora.
Whānau, we're going to we've got about 5 more minutes left just to give you an update of some of the things that we've been up to. So first, we've talked about Kai on the fly. I also wanted to talk about some of the things that we've been doing in the health space. So you'll know that we have a vaccination centre, the only iwi-led vaccination centre in Tāmaki. There are 5 Māori vaccination centres across Tāmaki. Our goal is to make sure that Māori, that Ngāti Whātua Rākei have a place to go, and we will look after you. So for those of you who are wanting to have their vaccination done, please come. Don't book, just turn up, because that is yours, and we are there to be in service to you. So we look forward to seeing you at 261 Moran Road in Glen Innes. To give you a sense of the scale, many of them are Uncle Danny's moko tuarua that are there. So we've got lots of our whānau that are working there. We've got 50 of our whānau that are on the front line day in, day out, doing vaccinations, welcoming people through, doing testing, COVID testing, swabbing, security. They're there, showing up there, and they're doing it to be able to give you an option if you need that care. So again, if you need to be able to get your vaccinations done, please come to us. Bring your whare, bring your kāinga, bring your whānau, bring your bubble, and we will make sure we look after you. We're doing about 900 a day, 900 vaccinations a day. So I really want to call out to the team that are there. Secondly, we also have the clinic that's open, and they can provide all the GP care, all the doctor's care that you might need. So for whānau that are needing to be able to reach out, they can't get a hold of their doctors, ring us. There's Dr. Jeff. Dr. Jeff will be coming back next week, and he's going to be having a chat about mindfulness. It's really important that we understand that it's okay not to be okay at times like this. And so Dr. Jeff will start having a kōrero about that. Also want to talk about some of the work that Toi Whātua is leading. The hardest work, which I absolutely don't want to do, but I know I have to, is the one at the bottom on the left-hand side, and that says Kori Kori Tinana. So please be there. Thank goodness it's only 2 days a week, whānau. Rātu and Rāpare, you can join us, Kori Kori Tinana, and I'm hoping that after 4 weeks I'm ready to hit something, do something. So please come along. We've got Toi Ahure that happens every day, and we also have karakia Monday to Friday, and you would have been there tonight and seen the team that were there. As well, we have kurapo, which is every Tuesday, and we cater for every level of reo. So please, no mai, haere mai, kuhu mai, ki roto e tēnei āhua. The other, ēnei kaupapa. Also, I want to talk about some of the work that we have been doing for whānau that can't leave their homes. And there are. It's really hard if you're a single mama and you've got babies to even go to be able to go to the shops. And so we have got teams that are ringing around and making sure that people have access to the supports they need. Our Tamariki Order team, they've made over 300 calls out to our parents, our young parents, and in some respects they're now going into homes doing immunisations. So over the last couple of weeks I've been into over 20 homes, making sure that babies are immunised and up to date. They're also holding online wānanga for our hapu mama to make sure that they've got the support that they need. So that just gives you an idea of some of the things that the team are doing. Now I'm going to spend the last 2 minutes talking about the kaupapa that we have for Ngāti Whātua Rākei whānau. We launched yesterday Rauro Kai. We know that kai, there's a huge demand for kai. We've got babies, all our kids are at home. There's nowhere to go. We've got to be able to stay in our bubble, which means if you're like our whānau, you just love to eat more and more. And so kai is really important. We have Rauro Kai. Please contact us. We today have delivered over, as Dane talked about 1,200 meals to Kaumātua. We've also had a whole lot of food parcels there. We've also got food vouchers that are available. We will support you however we can. We are part of a Māori food network that we've launched across Tāmaki for the simple fact that Māori need to be able to have access to kai. And for Ngāti Whātua Rākei, we will make sure that we're looking after our whānau. The next thing that we have launched in the last 2 days is what we've called Whātua Oha. And this is to be able to support families through a grant who are experiencing financial hardship. When we reached out to many of you, you were gracious enough to be able to share what was happening in your worlds. Too many of us have experienced household income losses over this lockdown. And the number is startling. Over 40% of our whānau that responded to us have lost some kind of income in their houses. And so we've got to be able to make sure that we can provide the supports and keep ourselves resilient and strong over this period. So Whātua Oha is available, and you can contact us or you can follow the links that we've sent through. Well, whānau, that's it for this week. We want to make sure that you have a beautiful weekend. For all our papas out there, I hope that you get spoilt this Sunday, one day in the year, every day in the year, our papas. Thank you for joining us. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Pō Māori.
Kia ora i te whānau. Ko Pāti ora maihi tōku tūpuna, ko te hoa kou tōku mama, ko tui kei kola hau. Kei te pēhea koutou. How are you all? How's your whānau? How's your friends? Kei te pai? Kei te hoha koe? It's okay. We're all in this together. It's okay to feel scared, anxious, nervous. That's how we're feeling in our whare. But we're concentrating on the positives. Yes, we've got this. If we start talking whānau and sharing, I think you'll all find that we're on the same waka. So let's start doing that. Let's start kōrero. Start the kōrero in the chat.
Mahuru